talks about how messy life gets before having a glow up. You see someone looking incredible, like they've changed, like they've evolved, but no one sees the hardship behind it. I'm going to be real in this video of the reality of having a glow up and what it entails and how hard it is. And things that people don't see, things that people don't expect. And this is just my own experience. On this channel, I love to cover topics all to do with self-development, encouraging you to be the best version of yourself whilst being your authentic self and just being your little virtual cheerleader. So if this sounds like your vibe, I would love if you could like and subscribe. So we all see the positive side of glow-ups when you see someone and they're just looking incredible. They're shining, their hair looks amazing, their skin looks amazing, they're thriving in life. And of course, we love that for them. We love it. But what you often don't see, and I feel like people don't talk about this enough, is the struggles, is the silence, is the time when you're alone and you've got to delve deep and get through all those emotional blockages. The relationships you lose. The days where you just feel like it can't get any worse and you can't get out of bed. That is your time when you're in a cocoon before you can become a beautiful butterfly. And being honest with you, it is not glamorous. It is so intense. And you think to yourself, when am I going to be done with this moment? When are things turning around for me? When is it going to stop feeling so fucking hard? When am I coming out of the trenches? The amount of times I've said, my goodness, please God, higher power, I've done enough. I've been through enough. I'm a good person. What the hell is going on? Why are you breaking me down? But as hard as it is at the time, the reason that your life is falling apart, and I know it's cliche, the reason your life is falling apart is because you can't have your new life, your future life that you desire on your old foundations. It needs to completely obliterate, destruct, and become rubble for you to be able to clear up all that mess on a fresh foundation and build your future path and build the life that you want, not the life that you've been living or think that you should live, but building the life that you truly, truly want. And I can talk from experience because this is me right now. I used to work a 9 to 5, 8 to 5 actually, Monday to Friday. I was an office manager and executive admin. And don't get me wrong, I love the people I work with. It was so great to learn so many different skills. But there was just something in me that was like, you need to use your voice more. You're meant to create for people. You're meant to use your voice. You're meant to speak of your experiences so that people can relate, so that people can talk about theirs and stop feeling like they have to hide from things or situations that they've gone through. You're meant to normalise going through a hard time. You're meant to normalise topics that come across as taboo or things that people don't talk about. You're meant to bring those things to light. And even if it's 5 people watching, that's 5 people's lives that you've impacted. That's 5 people's lives that can now relate to you and not feel alone. That is 5 people's lives that might listen and go, I felt like that and now I understand. And there's nothing wrong with me. And that brings me so much joy. The idea of making a difference in people's lives, that is what really is my purpose. So I'm going to share with you what it's been like to go from a 9 to 5 job, 8 to 5 job, I keep saying that, 8 to 5 job to completely switching their life. So late last year, I left my 8 to 5 role. I took a big leap and thought, I'm going to take a little bit of time to figure out what I want to do long term. I'd been very good with saving throughout the years, so I was very fortunate to be in a good place financially. And I thought, you know what, in the beginning of the year, I'll start to look for other roles. But I really want to figure out what I'm meant to be doing. And I've always, motivated people, tried to encourage people, helping people become the best version of themselves. And I've always spoken about doing this content, but I've never actually taken the leap. But that time of reflecting and not knowing what's next, I just decided to go, do you know what? I'm going to start the Instagram. I've already done TikTok for about 6 months now. So let's try and think of what else I can do. And it kind of built from there. And in the new year, I started applying for jobs because I thought, right, I need to start thinking of myself financially now. I've started building the structure, so now I can find a job. And my God, trying to find a job, if you follow me on my Instagram, you'll see me post stories to say, this is so infuriating, it's so difficult, and this is really hard. Like, it gets lonely. I was spending the whole day in my room applying for jobs, filming the content, and getting absolutely nowhere. And because I was trying to be careful financially, I was making sure I wasn't doing too many things with plans. I wasn't committing to things. And honestly, if you're into tarot, it was a full-on hermit mode. And as someone who likes to go out and do fun things, I was like, I can't do that right now. And no one talks about that. No one talks about when you're going through a change in your life, when you're going for a level up. It can get so isolating. It is so hard because you no longer resonate with the old version of yourself, but you also don't know your new self too well. So you're kind of in the middle. And it is so confusing. And you're growing and things are changing. You're having the growing pains. You're having the days of anxiety and stress. But you just don't know what's going to happen next. And this uncertain phase of my life has been the hardest. Find yourself on the struggle bus. Ken, being around people all day to being in my room around nobody is so hard. It was so lonely. It was so isolating. And of course I had my wonderful friends. But it was up to me to get myself out there. It was up to me to get myself from 0 to 100 again. And I'm still not there. I am creating content currently that's getting wonderful views, wonderful engagement on Instagram. Everyone's so lovely. But of course, financially it's not paying off. So I do need to make sure that I'm financially supporting myself. And from the frustration of looking for jobs, I was like, why is nothing working for me? And I realised it's not working for me because I'm looking for 9 to 5 roles and that doesn't suit where I'm going anymore. That's someone else's way of building my life. That's not the way of me building my life. So now I'm building my life on my own terms. Rather than looking at jobs and think, do I suit their organisation? Will I fit in? I'm now looking at jobs that will suit me. I'm now looking at opportunities that fit in with my life. I'm having standards. I'm having to learn that with those standards, sometimes opportunities come up and they don't align and it's okay to walk away. And that's another thing. When your ground is incredibly shaky and you don't know what's happening next and you don't know what's coming next and you have no pillars of stability, it's so tempting to take opportunities that look shiny on the outside but could be hollow on the inside. It's so easy to get stuck in that lack mindset and think, I'll take it because it's good enough. But in the long term, it's not actually going to work out for you. And as frustrating it is at the time, as scary it is at the time to reject something, if you know in your gut it doesn't align with you, do not go forward, do not take it. Because something better will come along. And anything that leaves you or falls away from your life is because it's not meant for you. And speaking from experience, someone who has stopped chasing, stopped seeking external validation, stopped seeking stability externally, I can tell you that if something is meant for you, it's not going to leave you. Anything that leaves you is unaligned. Anything that leaves you, whether it's a job, a person, a relationship, is because they can't come into the next chapter of your life. Because you're leveling up and that personal situation can't meet you there. And it is sad and it's emotional and it feels like a death. It feels like you're losing a part of yourself. The comfort blanket is completely ripped away. But that needs to happen. It's not happening to ruin your life. It's happening so you can start living your life. Because you are meant for more. If you have dreams, chase them. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. At least you've tried. At least you're never going to go to yourself, what if? And right now, what am I doing? I know from my gut that I can't take on job opportunities that are going to mentally drain me. Because I need to use all that mental capacity for my content, for my creative side. And what I'm doing, my content, may never take off. Which I personally don't believe because I believe in myself. But do you know what? If it doesn't, at least I've reached those 5 people. At least I've put myself out there. And at least I've been brave enough to chase a dream. And go after what I want and believe in myself. And believe in myself when no one else will. Believe in myself when there's no external validation or financial reward. And of course, I'm so grateful for everyone that follows along. But it can be a lonely ride. As a sole creator, you're putting yourself out there into the world. And people that don't do that can't understand. And if you're the first person in your friendship group to do that, none of your friends are going to be able to relate. And of course, they can be there for you and they can support you. And I'm so beyond grateful for all of my friends who have done that. But they might not be able to understand the little things, like how hard it is to stay consistent, how hard it is to do editing when you've never done it before, knowing what to do. You might not have a fucking clue. I know I'm still trying to learn as I go, but that's it. I'm learning as I go. I'm not putting as much pressure on myself as I did at the beginning. There's awkward videos, there's awkward, uncomfortable situations when it comes to content. Your first video, you'll look back at it in 5 years and go, oh my God, that was awful. But that is part of the process. Those growing pains, those feelings of discomfort, it's all part of it, and it is okay. Just like in life, if you're looking to take a leap of faith, or you're looking to do something different, let this be your sign to do it. And of course, I understand people have financial responsibilities, so I'm not saying follow the same as I did. But there's plenty of jobs out there that can be flexible whilst you're building your empire, whilst you're building your dream. There's plenty of jobs out there that can work for you rather than it just working for them. And I know it's scary, and I know the certainty and the stability and the idea of not having that same structure is overwhelming. But I want to be an example of someone who has gone through the depths of hell. Someone who has felt like they're in the trenches. Someone who has not known where the fuck they're going. I'm getting through it. I'm going to keep pushing and keep fighting until I get where I want to be. I'm not going to seek external stability. I'm giving that stability to myself. And falling back on yourself is the scariest thing you can do, but that is the best way to build self-trust. And honestly, when you get to the point where you're coming out of that period, like I am now, you look back at it and go, thank God. And obviously, hindsight is a wonderful thing. But in the period where I didn't know what was going to happen, where I was trying to go for it and push myself outside my comfort zone and take that leap of faith, I felt alone, I felt isolated. I'd gone from a day of structure to a day of where I had to structure it myself. It's both infuriating and rewarding. It's infuriating because of the uncertainty. It's rewarding because I'm putting myself down a different path that I feel is more aligned to myself and what I'm meant to be doing in this world. Sometimes it's no risk, no reward, but trying is so much better than the what ifs. And I know this is going to be my best chapter yet. I know I'm going to look at myself a year from now doing amazing things, growing as a person, as a brand, and going, I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad I listened to my gut. And again, I don't know where it's going to end up. I don't know how far it's going to go. But I know when I turn 80 or when I'm older, I'm not going to question. I'm not going to wonder. And also, I'm not going to be scared to take risks in the future. Because I know I can back myself. I know I've got myself. I've taught myself so much. Like the resilience, the self-reliance, the strength, the courage to keep going. The power to be consistent when you don't want to get up and show yourself in front of that camera. So shaping the life you want is going to cost you your old life. And you're going to go through a lot of discomfort. You're going to feel like you're going to be like, what the fuck sometimes. You're going to go to yourself, have I made the right decision? But just remember, even if it doesn't work out, at least you tried. And if it doesn't work out, you can always go back to what you were doing before. But I'm a big believer. If you feel in your core that you're meant to be doing something, you're meant to be doing, or you're meant to be at a certain place in your life, that is going to happen. And I'm a big believer in anything you set your mind to, you can do. The only person stopping you is this person right here, the one I'm pointing at. You. Just because it gets messy, remember it gets messy before it gets good. But also remember, glow ups aren't always glamorous. Yeah, you look hella good after, but let's talk about how hard it was in between. And look at yourself now if you're going through the glow up and think to yourself, this is temporary. The storm comes before the rainbow. And you're just in your cocoon phase before you become a beautiful butterfly. And when you become that butterfly, You'll be grateful with all the moves and steps you took towards what you want to be and who you want to become. And if you don't believe in yourself today, I believe in you. And I want you to get off your ass. I want you to get up. And I want you to start chasing those dreams. I want you to start building the life that you want. And I want you to start betting on yourself. Because what happens if the results are a full house? I hope this video has helped. I hope it's normalised that a glow up isn't just something that happens overnight, that it's part of a structure, it's part of a process. There's some ugly phases, there's some uncomfortable phases, and there's some phases where you go, God, why? But the end result, when things start to shift in your favour, it will make it all worth it. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and enjoy the rest of your week, and ciao for now, Bella.